What is up, guys? James here from the Light of Riga YouTube channel, and in this video we're going to be doing a reading for all my Libra sun sign friends. If you were born between the dates of September 23rd and October 22nd, then you are a Libra sun sign and this reading is for you. Today we're going to be taking a look at money and abundance. We're going to talk about how you see it, what's blocking you from it, what steps you can take to improve your relationship with it. It's going to be an eye-opening spread that's going to tell you all about your relationship with money and abundance and how you can improve it. Before we go any further, I'd like to introduce you to some of my crystalline friends. I've got a smoky citrine here, and that helps us get to the root of our shadow issues. I've got a lab-treated amethyst, which is a man-made citrine basically, and they heat up an amethyst to bring it to the properties of citrine. I've got a natural citrine from the Congo here, beautiful channeler, and I've also got a tumbled piece of honey citrine. So I got all the citrine pointed at me. Citrine is the crystal of manifestation and abundance, and so it's going to give us some good energies while we do this reading. I'm also using the Mystical Tarot, which is a very surreal and abstract deck, which is going to be fun. And last thing I want to say is this is going to be a general spread, general overall reading for Libra sun signs. So not everything may apply to you, but take what you will, leave the rest. If you want a more specific reading tailored just for you, then head on over to my Etsy shop. The link is in the description. Alright, so if you would please give me a moment, let me ask the tarot cards a question. What are the energies of Libras surrounding money and abundance now in mid-July? Alright, that ought to do it. Okay. Cut the deck and we'll deal out the cards. Alright, I also want to use the Earth Magic Oracle deck to ask, what message do Libra sun-sign friends need to know about money and abundance at this time? It's an earth-based deck that's going to give us a very interesting answer. So what message do Libras need to know about money and abundance? Alright, and we'll look at that card at the end. Alright, the first card we're going to look at here represents how you see or relate to money. And we've got the Two of Swords. Okay, I'm getting the feeling of two different paths, two contrasting ideas. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say just then. Yeah, but I'm getting the feeling that there's kind of maybe a little bit of polarities going on within a lot of Libras. Maybe on the one hand, you really are kind of bound by the societal ways of thinking about money, how you need it to be happy and that stuff. And then there's another part of you that's like, you know, I would love it if there was no money in this world and I could just, you know, not need money. So I think there's two polarizing things happening within the lives of many Libras. Remember, guys, this is a general overall reading, so you know not everything's going to apply to you, but for the most part, for the energies of Libra, yes, that's what I'm kind of feeling from this card, is that, you know, there's just maybe an internal struggle going on with you about how to view money and how to look at it. You love it on one hand, but you hate it on the other, and of course that's going to be sending conflicting messages to the universe, and the universe is not going to really know how to respond to that. Okay, so it's going to give you a mixed bag. If you're torn internally, your external world is going to resemble that internal confusion, and you might have some hits and some misses as far as finances and abundance goes, until you can clean up sort of your viewpoint of money and abundance. Okay, so that's how you see it. Let's see how you relate. This card represents how you relate to money. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, that was the last card. I'm all over the place. This is sorry. This is what you need when it comes to money and abundance. What you need. We've got the Four of Swords, and yes, this card is kind of speaking to me. in conjunction with the Two of Swords, I think what you need as far as money is to meditate on it and to kind of look at it. And the best way to look at it is to take a break and slow down your breathing, slow down your thought process, remove your ego thoughts, and kind of just have a meditative session where you kind of feel about money rather than think about money. You know, we're so much in our headspace in this society. We are always, thinking about things from a logical perspective. And I think in order to feel how you truly feel about money, you're going to need to go into a meditative state. You're going to have to really understand yourself and not what your ego mind says, because that's not your true self. Your true self comes from the heart and your emotional body and how you emotionally feel about things. And in order to understand finances better, understand abundance better, you're going to have a more well-rounded approach to it and understand how you feel about it and what your emotions are telling you. So, yeah, what you need about money is to seriously take a step back and analyze yourself and see really what money is to you without, worrying too much about what your ego has to say. So, that's what you need. This card here represents what you already have when it comes to money. We've got the Moon card. Wow, that's interesting. Give me a second with this card. You know what? I want to draw a clarifier because I have a feeling I know what this means, but I want to be 100% sure. So let me ask for a clarification on this Moon card. See what we get here. Oh, we got Death. Oh man, Major Arcana coming out. Just a second with this. Wow. Okay, I'm getting the feeling here that this Moon. Thank you, Death card. That gives me a little help. I get the feeling that this Moon card is about change, and you're good about. How can I put this? Really understanding when change needs to come, understanding when you need a change. So I get the feeling that, practically speaking, maybe a lot of you are very good at realizing when a job's no longer serving you and it's not going well for you, and maybe you're able to make that change to get out of that job. I get the feeling that, if something's stagnated, then you're really good about shifting the energies and doing something new. And doing this from a perspective of, an internal perspective. Like you're in touch with yourself so that when you don't feel good about something and you're able to make that change. And that's what I get the feeling of from a lot of you Librans, is you can do that very well. And that's a very good skill because, it helps keep the energy fresh, which is definitely what you need, what we all need. And that's something that you do well. And I encourage you to keep that up. Really follow that internal guidance that you have. And when you intuitively know that something's not good for you, just make that cut and do something new. That's what you do well, and keep that going. All right. This card here represents blockages that you may have on the pursuit to financial abundance. And we've got the Ace of Pentacles. Getting things started is what I'm getting from this card. You have a little bit of trouble getting things started. Maybe in the real world, maybe you're not good at finding a new job. Maybe you're not good at starting a new business. And not saying that you're not good at it, but you kind of have this fear or this blockage towards starting something new. And this is not anything that you can point to. This is more like an energetic thing. That I get the feeling of an energetic block when it comes to starting new projects or new jobs or new anything that's going to lead to financial abundance or financial security. I get the feeling there's some mental blockages there. Maybe you don't like the first steps of a new job or a new thing. Maybe you're not really. I mean, who does? Who loves starting new jobs, right? Maybe some people do, but I don't. And so no one can blame you. But maybe there's a reluctance here to start something new because of a fear of that, and an irrational fear. Maybe it's not irrational, but I'm getting the sense here that starting in something new is stopping you from creating new stuff and stopping you from creating the life you want, surrounding money. So we'll see what this card says. This card represents steps you can take to improve your situation. We've got the Four of Wands. Yeah, this card to me is about celebration. It's about enjoying money rather than worrying about money. And I think that's a definite step that you can take. And if you see these new opportunities, if you see like this new job or this new career or this new project, if you start to see it more as an adventure and something to have, something to celebrate, you're starting something new and let's celebrate it rather than saying this is new and I'm scared. You say, oh, there's, an opportunity for something new on the horizon. Let's celebrate that. Let's enjoy that. Let's look at the good side of that, the positive aspects of that, and focus in on that. And I think that's a step that you can take to really improve your relationship with money. Especially, well, I'll talk about that card. I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, I think your relationship with money needs to be a little bit more happy, or a little bit more optimistic, and start seeing things from the positive viewpoint, from the positive angle, because that's what everything's either positive or negative depending on what you look at, right? Everything's neutral. Everything has a positive side and a negative side, and whichever side you more focus on is what that thing is going to be in your reality. So let's look at money more positively and have more celebratory energies towards it. And I think you're going to start to see a shift in how you interact with money and you feel about money and how money comes into your life. Okay, this last card here represents the outcome if you make the changes described in this spread. And we've got the Empress, and the Empress is all about abundance. It's about abundance, and both financial and physical and health and love. This is a great card. This is a beautiful card to get, and I think that you're going to find more abundance if you make the changes outlined in this spread. If you start to see things more positively, I think you're going to allow money to come into your life more fluidly, and it's going to just be a natural thing that you're not even going to be able to really control or stop, or it's just going to come. And it's such an easy thing to do, yet it's so difficult, right? You say to yourself, oh, all I need to do is change the way I think, and you would say that, that sounds pretty simple, but no, these are thoughts that have been ingrained in you since you were born, and they're very difficult to change. And so it's going to take a concerted effort. You have to want to do it. And I do see an internal struggle between, inside of you. You're not really sure. I get the feeling that you're kind of like, I love money, but I hate it, right? And I think that what you need to do to improve that is to get meditative and start to really feel your true feelings about money rather than the ones that society has given to you, so that you have a more healthy approach to it, and you start to see it more positively. But what you do well is you're good at severing that connection to things that don't serve you, and I think that's something that a lot of us can work on, and intuitively knowing when something's not beneficial for you, and that's a great thing. And keep that up, because it's going to get you out of a lot of jams. I know I have the tendency in my jobs to just stick it out for years after I know it's not good for me, and I still stick it out. And if I had that ability, I would have saved many years of my life doing things that I didn't want to do. So keep that up. That's very good. But also be more willing to start new things. If you're going to be finishing something, you also need to start something new, and don't have that creative block and you're seeing it as a huge obstacle. This new job or this new career is going to be like a huge obstacle. You don't want to do it. You just rather not have to go through that kind of experience. So I think there's a little bit of blockage to adventure as far as new projects go. So that's a little bit of a blockage, but the way you can fix it is to be more optimistic, be more fun-filled, and see money in a happier light, so that you're not seeing the negative aspects of it. There are negative aspects, but you don't have to focus on them, right? They're there, and you acknowledge them, right? You know about them, acknowledge them, but it doesn't mean you just always think about them, right? Okay? And if you do that, you're going to feel more abundance coming into your life. You're going to feel happier. You're going to feel more connected to this earth and this universe, because, things are coming to you freely and they're flowing to you, and it's a happy, beautiful time, okay? All right, before we go, let's see what the Earth Magic Oracle has for us. Remember, we asked it what message it has for Libra Sun signs right now concerning money and abundance. And we got Whale and Breach. Okay, this card is about coming up for air. Whales will spend hours underwater, in the dark depths and just doing what they do, but every so often they got to come up for a rest, and they got to come up to get air and experience the world in a different way, and then they'll go back down into the darkness. And I think that's what this card is telling you to do. It's time for you to experience the world of money and abundance in a different way. You need to come up for air and get some healing energy into your system. The way you're going to do that is through meditation, and you're going to do in your meditation, you're going to feel better about money. You're going to feel happier. You're going to feel the positive aspects of money, and really just go into a meditation and really just tick off the list, the box of all the positive things about money. Think about all of them and make that your focus, because once you make that your focus, now you're going to start to attract those things into your life. So it's time for you guys, Libras, to come up for some air. And if you do that, I think you're going to see the negative side of money and the way you look at it come to a close, or at least subside a little bit. And you may go back down into the depths. This is a learning process. It's not going to be instant. You may have to go back down into the ocean, but you're going to know that coming up for air felt really good, and you're going to be more willing to do that next time, and you're going to spend less and less time in the underwater and more time breached, flying through the air like a gigantic mammal does. All right, so that's going to be the reading for today. I hope that helped in some way, Libra friends. And remember, this was an overall general reading. If you want a reading tailored specifically for you, then you can head on over to my Etsy shop. The link is in the description and in the card, and we can do any kind of reading to get to the bottom of any kind of question you have. If you want to do this spread for yourself, we can do that as well. So very good. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. If you got something out of it, it lets me know I did something right. And if you have any questions or comments or suggestions or anything you want to say about this reading, then put those in the comment section. I love to hear what you have to say. If you really enjoyed this reading, please consider subscribing, because I release these videos very regularly. All right, guys, I really appreciate you coming by, and I really thank you for tuning in. So leave a like if you enjoyed this. Happy taroting. Peace.